Hey there, I'm your host Lisowi, and this is part 3 of the list style crafting system. In the last episode, we went ahead and created the interaction system. In today's video, we'll create the inventory. So with that said, let's begin. Let's go ahead and open up the content drawer, go to our inventory folder, and create a new blueprint class, actor component. And let's call it bpc_inventory. Open that up. And inside, we want two variables for now. We'll have the inventory size. Let's do an integer. And one more inventory slots. And this is going to be a structure, s_inventory slot. So in the first episode, we made two structures. This is the slot structure. And you want this to be an array because there are going to be multiple items. On event begin play, we can get rid of tick. We want to grab this array and do a resize, whatever the inventory size is. Now by default, right now, it's sitting at 0, as you can see. So if we compile, it gives us the option to set a value. By default, I'll just do 24. So there's that. Now I want to be able to print this or test this rather. So we'll create a new function called a print inventory. In here, we want to grab this array, do a for each loop. So for every single one we got, we'll do a print string. And if we append this array, we can go ahead and add more options to it. So we want 5, A, B, C, D, E, and we'll have A as the index it's currently at. And if we break that open, we can get the item ID and the quantity. So the reason I'm leaving gaps is because we can make this look a little nicer. So in here, we'll have a double colon and space. And in here, we can have a space equals space. So we'll know what index it's at, the item ID, and the quantity. Now, if we go back to the event graph, we can do a keyboard one event or anything as you wish. And we can grab this function and do a print. So if we compile and save, let's add this inventory to our player first. So third person character, add in here, just as we did with the interaction system. So inventory, and we can see inventory size. Compile and save that. And if we don't need this, we can close that. And if we run this and press 1, we get the inventory printing. So we know it's there. Right. So with that, let's go back into the inventory component and create the add to inventory function. So let's create a new function called add to inventory. And in here, we want to know about the ID and the quantity we're adding. So we'll have a name, an integer, item ID, and the item quantity. From here, we want to grab this quantity and promote it to a local variable, local_item quantity. Then from that, we want to check if this is greater than 0. That means there's something there. We should go ahead and do something about it. So we'll do a while loop. So while this condition is true, we'll go ahead and keep adding to our inventory. Now we also want a second check. So we'll do an AND boolean to see is the inventory full. Because if it's full, there are items here. We can't add them. So let's stop. So let's promote this to a variable called local variable is what we want. Local variable, local is inventory full. And the condition is if this is not full. So not boolean. Not full variable doesn't exist. There we go. And this will run while these are true. So the first thing we want to check for is, are there any matching items? So we'll create a function to see find matching slot. In here, we want to pass in the item ID. So we'll do a name, do item ID. Let's grab the inventory slots, do a for each loop. So it's going to run through the whole inventory and it's going to search for this item ID, break it open, and let's see if we can find it. So we'll compare them. Equals equals get item ID, just references this, and we don't have to drag strings. Plug it in. Item quantity we don't need. Well, we will need it in a moment. So let's turn this back on, and we'll do a branch. So if it found it, okay, and Boolean, it has to find it, and that slot also has to have space. Because imagine we have 10 sticks, and we found another stick, doesn't fit there, needs to create a new stack. So we want to check, is the item quantity greater than the stack size? Now for that, we can do a handy little function, get item details. And let's see, we want the item ID. We want to get the row table, do item data, and we just want to return this table here. We'll do item details. And once we found it, let's get this. We can also make this pure. We can plug in this item ID. So since they're matching, it's the same item ID. And we'll do a break, get the stack size. So if this item quantity is less than the stack size, it should go true. Otherwise, just create a new stack. And let's hide anything we don't need. Okay, so, and Boolean goes into the branch, and let's then go ahead and do a return. And I want to return the index that this was found at. If it was found out. If it wasn't found out, what we'll do is we'll grab this, and in here we'll do a -1 to indicate the full value. Now we're only doing this on the completed, because if we were to do it on false, then the array, the function would end. So completed would do that. And we also want to know if this was found or not. So we need a Boolean found, in this case true, and in this case false. So let's close this down, add that here. We have the get item ID again, and we'll do a branch. So if we found something, we just want to add it to stack. If not, we want to check, is there space available, and then create a new stack. So we'll have 2 more functions in here. Well, 3 functions. We'll have the add to stack. And in here, we want to know the index and the quantity we want to add. So index and the item quantity. We'll override the array. So get the array to set array element, and we can choose which index we want to update. So in our case, we have it here. From the item, do a make, and we want to get this item quantity. But before we do, we want to get this array element again, do get a copy of the index so we know what we're doing here. And we want to break this open, split this open, and we want to get this item quantity, add this item quantity here. So let's do an add, get item quantity, right, this one here. And then we will just update this value. So it's going to override this array with the new value. And we will go and do add to stack on true. Index we have here. And that's looking good. Item quantity will always be 1. And every time we add something, we're going to decrement 1 from here. So we want to get the local item quantity and just do -1. And the exact same thing if we're creating a new stack, because we will create a new stack with the 1 quantity. And then if we have more items to add, it will follow through here. So on false, we want to add another function to any slots available. And we want to get the array and do a for each loop. So in here, we can either check for the ID or the quantity. So let's do, if the quantity is equal to 0, that means there's nothing in there. So the item ID must be empty. We'll do exactly the same as we did for the find matching slot. we want a return value on true and another one on completed. And we want to return the array it was found at and if it was found or not. So found and the index. So in here, false, -1, because it got completed and it didn't find anything. And if it did find something, it'll end the function here with this index and a tick be true. Like so. And that's all we gotta do. Let's compile and save that. Go back in here, grab this. And again, this can be a pure function. Grab another branch. And we want to add to inventory and then run that to decrement. Now, before we do any of that, if this happens to be false, we want to set this to be true because now the inventory is full. We can't add any more stuff. But if we did find a space, we'll do add or create new stack. We'll grab in the inventory slots to set array element. In here, we want 3 inputs. We want the index, it was found at, the item ID, and the quantity. So item ID, item quantity. Plug that in. Inventory slots, index will go here. Then we'll make from here. And just connect the item ID and the item quantity like so. Then grab that and connect it on true. Index comes from here. Double click to reroute. And item ID we have here as always. Paste it here. And we're always adding just the one. Create new stack. Decrement. And then because we have something matching, if the quantity is greater than 1, the stack size, it'll go through here and continue doing this until this returns completed. Now, when it does return completed, we want to first update the inventory. So we'll go to the event graph, create a new custom event, update inventory. And we want to create an event dispatcher on inventory updated. We can call this later in the UI to let us know, hey, refresh it. So back in the add to inventory on completed, we want to update the inventory first. And then we want to do a return node. And in here, we want to return, let's see, outputs. We want 2 outputs. We want to know the quantity, if there is any, and Boolean. So item quantity left. And is inventory full. So grab that. Inventory is not full, and we want to get the, let's see, item quantity from here. And that's all we gotta do. So let's compile and save that. So with the inventory logic complete, let's close this down and open up our items or the item data component. In here, we can get the player character, get the component by class, comp class, put in our inventory component, check is valid. And if we are valid, we'll go ahead and add to inventory. Now we will be adding the item ID, which will come from the item data. Break it open, get the row name and the item quantity. Let's close this down. We don't need the table there. And okay. Now at the end, we want a branch. And this will have an AND Boolean, 2 conditions. We want to know if the inventory is full or not. And we want to know if this is equal to 0. If that's the case, we'll go and say true. And we'll also say if it's false, we'll just set the item quantity, because let's say we have 1 in the inventory, the stack size is 5, and we've picked up 6. So that means there's 2 left over. So we'll just set that here in case this ever happens. And then on true, we'll get the owner, which will be the item, and then we'll destroy it if all of it was taken. And that's all here. So compile and save. And now if we play and print the inventory, it's empty, as you can see. If we were to pick something up, it doesn't get destroyed. And let me check. Oh yeah. So the reason this is not getting destroyed is because in the interaction system, I never actually went ahead and added a input for this. So we'll do ia_interact. Now here we want to check, is the looked actor a valid actor? So convert to validated get. If it is, we want to get component by class. So item data component, because that's where we're calling that interact with function. Is it valid? Because some of the actors can have this and some can not. And if it's valid, we'll do interact with. And there we go. Now, if, for example, it's an NPC or something else, we'll just call interact with from here. Interact with. So now if we were to play this, compile and save, we should be able to pick this stuff up. So empty array, stick gun, leather, and iron. And if we play, we have 1 of each. Let's see if they stack. So let's just multiply this. Let's also grab this leather and say inside the quantity, I want it to be 6. So because it's 5, I think, in the data table, it should create a new stack. Let's hit play. Grab the stick. It's in there. Grab the leather, print. There we go. It did. And the 2 iron stacks. So there we go. So this is it for the video. In the next episode, we'll go ahead and create the inventory UI. With that, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like, and as always, happy developing!